Hello and welcome. My name is Xander. I will be your instructor through this tutorial. Now, this tutorial is actually part of a whole course which you can access the first stages for free here on YouTube. Now, in this tutorial, I might mention resources and other tutorials. Do check out the link in the video description, which will take you to the playlist, and also there will be a link to the resources so that you can access and follow along here on YouTube. Now, if you like this course, you found it useful, and you want to take that next step, you can find this course over at Udemy. All the links to the resources can be found in the video description. Now, don't forget, also subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and free course giveaways. In this tutorial, we learn how to create or define foreign keys to build relationships or links to primary keys in other tables. So foreign keys are used to establish and enforce a relationship between the data in two tables. The foreign key ensures referential integrity, meaning the value in the foreign key column must correspond to a valid value in the reference primary key column. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to create a one-to-many relationship using foreign keys between two tables. In our database design, we have one occurrence of that between the category and the products table. So through the normalization process, the process of designing this database, we have established that there is a relationship between the category data and the products data. Now, the type of relationship may not depend on anything else other than your business logic. For example, in this instance, one category is going to be associated, so one record in the category table is going to be associated to multiple products. So I say that we have a one-to-many relationship between category and products. Okay, so we add a category. Let's say that's the electronics category. And then in the products, I may have multiple electronic products. So when I add new products, I want that product to be associated to that electronics category. So we have a one product related to many products. So one category connected or related to many products. Right, so if we have a look at the relationship from the other side, one product that we add in the products database, or one product in the products database, is related to just one category. That's our business logic. You could have, or you may choose that one product might actually be associated to multiple categories in your particular scenario. So these relationships are flexible in that they will meet your particular business needs or requirements or application requirements. So in my scenario here, one product is related to one category. So every product will be related to a single category. So we have a one-to-many relationship from category to products. Now, to build this relationship, to let the database know that the product data is going to be connected or related to the category data, we're going to create a foreign key field in the products table. So step one will be to create a new field in the products table. And then step two will then be to assign this field or reference the data in this field over to the primary key of the category table. To help you visualize what's happening here, we have two tables, products and category. In the products table, we have a primary key, 1, 2, a foreign key field, whatever that's called. And you can see there is numbers referenced in there, and we have a name. Obviously, there are other fields in our products table, but I've just made it brief for us to understand and focus in on the foreign key field. Right, on the category table, you can see we have a primary key field, ID. Each record in the category table will have a unique ID, like the products table, of course, and we have two records, or just one record here we can view in the category table with the name of electronics. So what we need to do is build a relationship between the products and the category table. So what we're going to do here is create a foreign key field in the products table. Whenever we add a new record in the products, in the foreign key table, we're going to reference a category by ID and insert that number into the foreign key field of that record in the products table. So you can see in the first record in the products table, we have product primary key ID 1, foreign key field 1, and name laptop. So that 1 in the foreign key field is a reference to the primary key in the category table here in blue. Number 1, electronics. So by building a foreign key table, a foreign key field, we can reference other tables' data, in this case by the primary key of the category. So when we start to actually query the data from the database, we can determine and return related data from multiple tables which have a relationship, because we can query the products table and return, say, the laptop data, and then we can use the foreign key field to reference the data in another table and collect that related data about, in this case, our product. So we can return both the products data in the products table and the products data or related data in the category table. So let's take a look at the SQL code for this. So first of all, in the products table, we are going to need to make sure we have the foreign key field. If we take a look at the design, it looks like we have created a field called category ID. That's going to be the field where we store the primary key of the corresponding category. That's going to be our foreign key field. Right, so we've determined now that we have a field in products called category ID. So now we need to add the foreign key constraint. Right, so let's alter the table, products table, and we're going to add a new constraint. It's going to be a foreign key constraint. So we're going to give this a name of product category ID foreign key. Okay, and now we need the keyword foreign key. So that's the key here, using the keyword foreign key, and we specify the field in the products table that's going to act as the foreign key field. So the last part is we need to reference, or we need to reference the table that we want to build a relationship to. So in this case, it's going to be the category table by name, and then we need to identify the field we want to build a reference to or relationship to, and that's going to be the primary key in the category table. So let's go ahead and build the reference, and there we go. So let's take a look at that now. So that's going to be the products table. So we can zoom out a little bit and view the rest of the table. So we now have a primary key ID, and we also now have the foreign key. So this is an integer field. So there are two parts to this. There's creating the field and then assigning it to a foreign key. Now we've made a mistake here in that when we created the field, the category ID, as an integer field, we didn't supply the fact it should be not null. In the case of this one-to-many relationship, I want to enforce that when I add a product to the product table, that it is actually going to be related to a category. So my business logic tells me, and my requirements are, that when I create a product, it has to be connected to a category. It has to. That's a requirement. Now, if we don't add not null to the category ID, the foreign key field here in products, it means that when we add products, it will not be related to a category. And of course, we don't want that. We want it to always be related to a category whenever we insert or update data in the products table. So I wonder if you remember how to alter the table to add or to assign the field to not null. So that's going to be alter column, the name of the column, and then set not null. So that's the SQL that we're going to need here. So let's now enforce that and take a look at the products table. And now we have signed the category ID, our foreign key, to not null. So we have a look a bit further down. We can see that we now have a foreign key constraint reference in our table data. When we view it, we have the name, foreign key is the category ID, and it references the category table and the primary key of that table. So we've now enforced that referential integrity from products and category through the one-to-many relationship we have now established between products and category. What's important to remember now is that whenever we add a product, there has to be a corresponding category. So a category must exist in the category table for us to now build a product. So I wonder now if you can build the relationship between users and orders, because we have a very similar relationship here, one-to-many between users and orders, and we have the foreign key here in the orders table. So let me just take you through the relationship. So for one user, they may make multiple orders. So that's from users to orders, so one-to-many, and then one order will be connected to one user. Okay, so there's a one-to-one from orders and users. So if we put that all together, we have a one-to-many relationship between users and orders. So the crow's foot here, you can see it, the crow's foot is in the orders, or on the orders side. So we put the foreign key in the orders table, and now we need to configure that within our SQL code to apply it to the tables. Okay, so let's take a look at how that is going to be completed. Similar to what we have already completed here with the products table, we're going to add a new column to the orders table. And then we're going to alter that column, set it to not null. And now we need to add the foreign key constraint. So that's in the orders table. We're going to create a name for it. We're going to define the user ID field as the foreign key, and then we need to reference the users table and the primary key in that table. Okay, so it looks like we made a mistake there. So let's just try that again. So alter table orders. We're going to set the constraint, and we then need to define the foreign key, and then we go ahead and reference the users table, the ID field in the users table. And there we go. So now when we inspect the, let's inspect the orders table, we should now have our foreign key constraint defined. So last of all, you may also have a self-referring foreign key. So here in the category table, notice that we have this parent ID foreign key. This is a foreign key that self-references other categories in the category table. And by doing this, it allows us to create a hierarchical structure within the table. So let me see if I can draw a bad example and explain what we have developed here. So in the category table, we're creating a foreign key which self-refers to other categories in the table. So you might imagine we have a category here. So it has a primary key of, say, 1, has some sort of name. So let's go for laptop. So that's going to be the name of this category, and that's all. Okay, so we have this record, this category record, primary key 1, name laptop. Now, maybe we want to have subcategories. So by creating this self-referring foreign key, it allows us to build this hierarchical structure, because now we can add a new record into the category table. So we have an auto-incrementing primary key. We have some sort of name. So maybe this is some sort of, this category is going to be called Apple, for Apple laptops. And now what we can do is use the foreign key field to refer back to the parent category in this case. So foreign key 1. So this 1 here is going to be a reference to the primary key of another category, thus creating this hierarchical structure, because we have this first level here of categories, this parent category, and then we have this subcategory, this child related category to the parent category. And we build that relationship through the foreign key, the self-referring foreign key, which reference other primary keys of other categories in the category table. So it doesn't stop there, of course, because we can just simply keep going. So we may have another record, another category at some point. That could be absolutely any other ID. So eventually we can then go ahead and build another reference. In this case, the referencing foreign key 2, or primary ID of a category number 2, and obviously that then is referring to this category here. So we have now created a third layer or third level in this hierarchical structure that we can build using this self-referring foreign key within the same table. So let's take a look at how we're going to build this self-referring foreign key in the category table. So in actual fact, the process is exactly the same. We need the field to begin with. Now, what's important here is that this field is probably going to be optional. So we don't want to set it to not null, because some categories will be parent categories, so they won't need a reference to another category. So we don't need to set not null on this field. So we've created this new category ID field, which we can use as the foreign key field. I think I've named it slightly different in the diagram. In the diagram, I named it parent ID, so you can make that change. And now we simply just need to alter the table to include the constraint. So we add the foreign key constraint this time on the new field we just created. And of course, we simply just reference the category table and the primary key of the category table. So it's a very similar process to build that self-referring foreign key. So now we're going to take a look at the table. We have indexes and we have foreign key constraints. We can see from this information we have definitely not assigned it to nullable. So we should be able to insert records into this table without having to insert into the category ID field. So a foreign key is a column, or sometimes a set of columns, we didn't demonstrate that in this tutorial, in one table that references the primary key of another table. This ensures referential integrity, meaning only valid or existing values from the reference table can be inserted. In this tutorial, we learned how to assign foreign keys to build one-to-many relationships between tables, and indeed to create self-referring foreign keys so that we can build hierarchical structures within a table. Now that we have this underpinning knowledge, let's now move to the next tutorial where we're going to discuss how to enforce different behaviors when we delete data when we have reference or related data in multiple tables.